Hey guys, my name's Dave from DT Unboxed, and in this video I'm going to be doing an unboxing, demo and review of the new Narwal Freo vacuuming and mopping robot. Now their first unit, the Narwal T10, was an excellent vacuuming and mopping robot, and I've been using that for the last 2 years on my floors, and I've been really happy with how it performed. There was one downside with that though, and it was the fact that in order to change from vacuuming to mopping mode, you would have to change the module out. So you'd have to physically lift up the robot, put the mop pads on, take the vacuum bit off, and then push start on the unit in order for it to start mopping. That was definitely the biggest downside. Other than that, it worked excellently and really did clean the floors quite well. With this new model though, you don't have to touch the unit at all. If you want it to mop, it can mop. If you want it to vacuum, it can vacuum, and all completely hands-free from the actual unit. So anyway, let's get stuck into the unboxing first. Let's see what you get inside the actual package. And then after that, I'll take this away for a couple of weeks, do some testing, and I'll show you exactly how it works. 2 mopping pads. And first out of the box is the actual robot unit here. So we've got some instructional material, the vacuum brushes, and here's the robot unit. So definitely feels like a really solid and well-built piece of gear so far. So next in the box is a nice quick start guide for us. And finally, here's the home base for the robot. So let's have a look inside here. We've got a power cable, and they've also included some lemon and basil floor cleaner. And here's the wastewater tank and the clean water tank. So that's everything inside the box. There's definitely been an aesthetic upgrade from the original T10. Everything just looks a little more refined, and I'm quite impressed. The build quality thus far looks really great. Alrighty, so I've been using the Freo on my floors now for a couple of weeks, and it's definitely been an improved experience to the original T10 Narwal, which is already a pretty great robo mop and vac. Let's talk about the main features first. The Narwal Freo has 5 main cleaning modes. There's Freo mode, vacuum, vacuum, then mop, mop, and finally vacuum and mop at the same time. Now the last 4 are pretty self-explanatory. Now the biggest downside to the original T10 Narwal was the fact that if you wanted to switch to the mopping mode, you'd have to pick up the robot and change the cleaning module, and vice versa. If you wanted to go to vacuum, you'd need to put in the vacuum module. But thankfully with the Freo, you won't have to touch the robot at all. It's got vacuuming and mopping working all on the same unit. Now the main cleaning mode, the Freo mode, is an interesting one where the robot will self-detect how dirty your floors are by sensing the dirt coming from the mop, and then it'll tailor the cleaning mode to suit. So if you have super dirty floors in one particular area, it will focus more on that. In contrast, if you simply use the standard mop mode, then it's just going to do it once or twice over and be done with it. So super dirty areas might not get the attention they deserve in that regular mopping mode. So with the Freo mode, you'll get a combination of vacuuming and mopping at the same time. It just depends. Sometimes it'll just focus more on the mopping depending on what it wants to do. I found this mode to work quite well. However, having said that, I personally prefer just doing the standard vacuum first and then mop afterwards. I personally liked having the floors completely free of particles and debris first before starting the mopping. The cleaning experience overall was really great, and I was super happy with the floors and the end result after each clean. When you open up the lid, you'll also see the clean water and the wastewater tanks used for mopping. They're really easy to take in and out and refill and clean. And it's actually really satisfying taking the wastewater tank out after the end of the clean and just seeing how dirty your floors actually were. Now, I think one of the best and biggest upgrades to this model is also the fact that the Narwal Freo works on carpets. So for the T10 model, the original model, it was advised against using on carpets. But in this upgraded model, I got my wish, and the Freo will detect carpet surfaces and it'll simply raise the mops so that you're not making the carpet wet with the mops, and it'll just start vacuuming. Although it's not going to outdo a Dyson in terms of the suction power, it actually did a pretty great job on my carpets and got rid of pretty much all the dust and debris. Object avoidance did a really great job. I was able to leave furniture and things around the house, didn't have to pick everything up off the floor. I would say keep loose cables like iPhone cables and light clothing like socks and undies off the ground though, as the robot might inadvertently suck those up, and things like cables might get stuck in the roller brushes. So let's take a quick look at the operation of the Freo. We've got a cute LCD touch display here where we can scroll through the 5 cleaning modes. If you want the robot to exit, simply touch any of the modes and then tap exit. To activate a particular mode, you can tap start after selecting that particular mode. Using the LCD screen, you can also scroll through a bunch of settings and activate things like child lock, adjust your network and Wi-Fi settings, and other miscellaneous adjustments. Now, of course, the Narwal Freo has a companion app that shows you the room floor plan that's mapped out the first time that you use the robot. You can also set schedules, activate the robot to clean remotely, so away from home, as long as you got an internet connection and the Narwal's connected to Wi-Fi. And another handy feature is the ability to set no-go zones in areas of your house. So let's say you don't want the Narwal Freo vacuuming in a certain area, then you can just mark that space out and save that in the app, and it'll just avoid that area in the future. Now, overall, I'd say that every single feature has been improved on the Freo over the T10. You no longer have to manually switch out the cleaning modules. There's a larger vacuum dust bin. The battery life seemed to last longer under my testing. The robot does a better job cleaning corners and edges. And the Freo features 40-degree gentle heated air drying for the mops. And of course, the Freo features that dirt sense technology to thoroughly clean dirtier areas. One other big difference is that the Freo features a compartment on the inside for a floor cleaner bottle, something that the T10 didn't have. The T10 just had detergent sheets that you drop into the clean water tank. I imagine that in order to replace this particular cleaner, you need to buy it directly from Narwal. It seems like a very specific shaped bottle, not one that you could probably get from the store or anything like that. Now, it's worth noting that this isn't necessary for the robot to function though. You could just mop with standard clean water. But this particular cleaning agent, it just got a really subtle, nice smell to it. It's not very overpowering or anything like that. Now, are there any downsides to this Narwal Freo? In terms of cleaning, not really. I think it did a wonderful job on my floors, did a wonderful job vacuuming the carpets, vacuuming and mopping my hard floors. And it'll also detect different types of hard floors as well. So it'll apply more or less pressure depending on the type of floor. So it'll do that all automatically. The one thing that I think could be improved is just the software itself. I found the LCD touchscreen to be a little bit tricky to navigate at times. There's times where it's not obvious how to get back to the home screen. And especially if you miss a prompt beforehand telling you that you need to swipe right in order to go back, then you will be stuck wondering how to just return to the main menu. I also had a couple of occasions where I had trouble connecting to the Wi-Fi network. Now, the Narwal Freo does not connect to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi networks. It's only 2.4 gigahertz networks. Now, if you're running into an issue where your Narwal Freo can't actually find your Wi-Fi network, then I have one tip, and this worked for me. Turn off your 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi option on your router. So turn off that frequency and then turn it back on. And by doing that, my Narwal Freo then detected the Wi-Fi network. Now again, it doesn't work with the 5 gigahertz networks, but that doesn't mean you have to completely turn off the 5 gigahertz network. If you just toggle it on or off and just restart that router, I'm not sure exactly why, but it worked in my particular case. So if you're having issues with the Wi-Fi and connecting, then give that a shot. Other than that, I've really enjoyed the Narwal Freo. I think it's made cleaning the floors and now even the carpets super easy. Don't really even have to think about it. So that's my overview and demo of the Narwal Freo. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time on DT Unboxed. Cheers.